What's up, guys? So I wanted to make a quick video. I didn't. Well, it's not gonna be quick. It's probably gonna be a little long. So I guess I'm used to saying quick videos. All right. So I wanted to basically make this video to show you guys like I've been in the game for a while. Like I'm just looking at the year here. It's 2025. My first deal was in 2018. Damn, bro. I've been doing this for a while. I just want to show you guys that I have experience. I've been doing this for a while. And if you guys have any questions, you're more than welcome to hit me up. I'm always happy to help people because typically when I help people, we split deals, right? So me helping you makes me more money. So it doesn't hurt for you to come to me and ask for help, basically. Um, I noticed that this is the first picture that I ever posted in my real estate group. I probably have my first check. Now you can see the date, November 8th, 2018. That was 2018. So obviously, I've had business cards printed. I still have the same phone number. That's crazy. I have a couple other phone numbers too that I added as time went on, but I still kept this number. Um, yeah, this phone number I still kept it. But yeah, let me pull this up real quick. Look at this. This was actually my first paycheck in the game. Boom, 5150. This was my first paycheck. This is look, January. On January, I decided I was going to do a deal. January 26, 2018, I had a check for 5150. Even though this was a $15,000 deal, but it was a long story. I helped this lady. I ended up splitting the deal with someone, but then I ended up helping her, which I was just being a nice guy. And plus, it was my first deal. I was like, you know what? As long as I make over 5K my first deal, it's okay. It's gonna be a numbers game. So, but it was a $15,000 deal, and this girl that I did the deal with, she ended up putting a down payment on the property, and she was about to lose her down payment. So I told her, look, I could help you close the deal, and I helped her close it. But the thing was, her down payment, I went and even though she made money too, but I went and I split her down payment with her, which I probably shouldn't, but I was such a nice guy back in those days. I did it. But this was my first check. It was a $15,000 deal. Um, as you can see, 2018. So just wanted to show that I've been in the game. I have some experience. As you guys can see, this was my little advertisement. Look, even back then, only two people only two people like my post. It's crazy, right? 2018. And then look at this. Boom. Wire transfer. This was another deal. I don't even remember what deal this is. But this was virtual wholesaling. I made 5 grand on this one. This is me and Max Maxwell. We went to this meetup. Man, I was looking rough back in the day. This girl, she did my hair all wrong. I thought it looked nice, but then when I saw the picture, I was like, "What the hell?" But yeah, it's Max Maxwell. Yeah, she did my hair crooked somehow, but the angle that I was looking at it in the mirror, it looked good, but I never noticed that it was crooked. But whatever. Um, this is Christina. I met Christina at the Max Maxwell thing. She's very cool, very knowledgeable. I love talking to her because she's super smart. Like I love Christina. Um, this is a funny meme. Waiting for the cash buyer to close uh, the deal. I just be sitting there, man, waiting for that deal to close. Come on, close. Get that money. But this was back in what 2019. Yeah, I wasn't even. I'm a shy person, and I don't like doing videos. As you can see, I don't even put my face on these videos most of the time because I was shy as a kid. You know what I mean? So I'm not like a out there type of person. I'm more introvert. So I can talk all day if I'm interested about a topic. But me meeting in person, going to meet people, and I used to have a fear of public speaking. You know what I mean? Like I used to sweat bullets, man. I used to like I used to shake. If you tell me get on the stage and say something, bro, I would shake. Luckily, I've beat that. Now I could go in front of 10,000 people and speak. But before, bro, I used to have like a real fear of public speaking, like deathly fear. You know what I mean? Like I feel like I'm about to pass out. Like I'm shaking, my head's shaking, my whole body's shaking, my throat starts talking like I think and all these eyeballs on me, and my voice starts cracking like That's how I used to sound when they tell me to get on stage. But luckily, I took this position, right? I took this job which was direct marketing. It was selling paintings door to door, and every morning we had to get in front of each other and pitch each other. And in the beginning, I was just like that. My voice was shaking, my arms, but every morning we had to do it. And these were all my friends. And that's how I beat that fear. Because every morning I had to get in front of like 15, 20 people, all the employees. We had to pitch in front of each other. And it was the same pitch every day. So I got used to it. The first few days, man, I wouldn't do it. I would try to skip it. I would try to come late. I would try to not do it, but everyone had to do it. So I think that's how I beat that public speaking fear and finally got over it. But you can see this was another wire transfer, 4,000. Um, okay, so this girl here sent me a lead that I closed on. Evelyn, I miss Evelyn. I need to call her because Evelyn was a doctor. She was in med school. I think she's a doctor now because she probably graduated already. She had a little bit of ways to go, but um, she was in med school and she was very busy. But on her way taking her kids to school and going home, she would drive local ways and see houses that need work. And this is in West Virginia. West Virginia is not the best market, so if it could be done in West Virginia, it could be done anywhere. But this girl used to send me leads, and one time I sent her this amount of money when I closed on the lead, and she told me that look, read what I wrote. I said I closed on, and she said thank God for me. That's what she said. She said thank God for me. She said I'm a blessing. She said thank God for you, Peter. You're a blessing. And I was like, wow, I never knew. I mean, I knew I was a blessing, but I never heard it. She was the first person to like tell me this, and I always remember that. And that's part of the reason I do this too, is to help people that um that needs a different avenue and that needs a little bit of extra money. Like, I mean, would $1,700 make you feel good today? So I basically sent her 1794.10. It was just a percentage, and that's what the percentage came out to. And I sent it to her, and she was so happy. But yeah, look at this, Dawn Bentford. Um, just imagine I've had this book, and I still got it when it first came out. So like I've been interested in real estate for quite some time. And check this out. Look at Dawn. I even tagged her and she was like, yo, it still works. I'm happy to see it. She is one of the people that I used to like go on YouTube, and I don't know if it was YouTube, but I used to go to I used to live at Borders and Barnes and Nobles. I used to live at those places, and I used to go straight to the real estate section and try to learn as much as I can. And I think that's part of how I came across wholesaling, and then I just figured out that's easy for me because I came from the car business, and I'm used to selling stuff, and so I was like, what's the difference between a car and a house? It's like less paperwork. That's the difference. So let me go learn about wholesaling houses. So yeah, but I used to get books like this. I used to get all kinds of books, just learning and learning and reading and reading. I used to spend hours every day. I used to just go to Barnes and Nobles and just grab a book and sit there until they're about to close. That was my life. So I put in the hours too. I put in the work. You guys, a lot of you guys, um, you guys don't want to put in five like every day. Just imagine like every day I'd get off work around like 6 o'clock, from 6 to like 10, 11, I think, because our Barnes and Noble closed kind of late. I would be there all day, all night. I don't eat. I just read, learn. Every day I would do it. Like I'm one of those type of people. I get obsessed, and then I just learn everything. But main thing about me is I don't just learn. I'm the type of person. All I need is one idea, and then I'll go and try it. I'll go and do it until it works, and I won't stop until I do that first one. Once I do that first one, then I'll evaluate if I enjoyed it, if I could do it again, if I, you know, if I don't love it, then I'll never do it again. Then I'll go get obsessed about a different topic. That's how I am. But I always make sure I do one. Like I'll do one deal before I can quit. I won't quit until I do that one deal. It's just everybody's different. They learn and learn and learn and they don't do anything. And then there's some people who learn and learn and learn and they'll do one thing and then they'll quit. Me, I won't quit. So that's just me. Look at this. This was when I had my office. I had an office in Montclair, New Jersey. Yeah, I used to do like marketing and stuff like that. It's crazy. Like it's 2019. I still have this laptop. I'm on it right now. This laptop is the one that I'm on right now as we're talking. This is crazy. Wow. Since 2019 and it's 2025. This laptop's amazing. I love this little laptop. I have two laptops. I have this one and then I have a Lenovo. But I hardly ever use the Lenovo, but I got the Lenovo to use it every day. But this one is so small, I just started using this and I never stopped. That's crazy. I'm still on it today. I'm on it right now. That's crazy. You can see I've had some people where I'd done a deal and they came to my office and pay me in cash. And I'm like, wow, I've never I like things to go through title companies, but this person paid me in cash, so am I gonna say no? Probably not. Uh, this was Cliff. Cliff is one of my friends who I helped him out with a lease option, gave him some pointers, and he got the deal done. Um, Look, got it done. I love it. Advertisements. Um, this is look at this. We live 2020. This is back in 2020. It's 2025, like I mentioned. And look, I went to We Live. This is Max Maxwell's event. I wish Max Maxwell would have stayed in the U.S. and keep growing bigger here, but he had different plans. And I miss the We Live family because it was a big family, man. I considered it a big family, and Max took off on us, and I don't know why he took off, but well, I know why. He got married, and sometimes the wives, want different things, and I'm happy for him, but I wish he was here. I still want to buy your property in North Carolina, Max. I want it. So if you ever see this video, I used to look up to Max because Max came out strong and he stayed strong for quite some time. You know what I mean? Like me, I'm like a quiet guy and I'm shy, but I like to see people who are out there. Me, I'm not an out there kind of person, and I like to be out there, but I don't know, man. I just don't like it. Sometimes I don't like all the attention and all. Some people like all the attention. Um, so yeah, Max Maxwell. I went to his event and I met Donahue Baker. Donahue was like um, the most powerful speaker in there to me. And I met Donahue Baker when I went up to him. I'm like, man, you were very powerful speaking up there on that stage. Because I love to go listen to powerful speakers. And um, I'm like, where are you from? He's like, I'm from Jersey. I'm like, what? What part of Jersey? I'm from Jersey. He's like, yo, I'm close to Newark, New Jersey, or I forget where he said part of Jersey he was from. But I'm like, what? I'm in Woodbridge. I'm like 20 minutes from you. This whole time, like, I'm like, we got to do a deal together. And sure enough, as soon as I came up here, we did a deal together. $30,000 assignment fee. I found a property in Elizabeth, and I called Donahue up. I said, hey, I got a property for you. It's worth like 300, 320. And he says, what do you want for it? I said, I'll take 180. He said, done. Just like that. You know? I'm like, what? Just like that. He's like, done. And I locked the property up for 150. So $30,000 deal with Donahue just because I went to this live event. We live event. I paid how much was this ticket? Like $500 or something? I don't remember. I think it was $300 or $500. So for $300 or $500 plus a ticket, and I paid for an Airbnb. Me and my boy, we split an Airbnb. So I probably spent like 600-700 bucks, but I made like 30K. You know what I mean? On one deal from one person that I met. That's why sometimes it's good to go to these events because you might run into one person or you might just get one idea that just changes how you do everything. So that's why sometimes I like going to these events. And plus, sometimes these events, they motivate the hell out of me to come back. And because I see other people doing so good, and I'm like, yo, look how this guy look. I could be, look at this guy. He's not better than me. I could be better than everybody in here. It just motivates you to be like, man, this guy, if this guy could do it, I could do it. What's different between me and him? Nothing. I'm probably better than him. So it just motivates me to because I'm like a competition kind of guy. So if I see somebody, I make you my competition. If I see somebody doing better than me, I make you my competition, and then I start doing better than you. So it helps you level up, basically. For me, in my mind, some people see things differently, but that's how I see things. Okay, but it's never a hatred towards anyone. I love everybody, but when I see you, you are now my competition if you're doing better than me, because now I'm gunning for you. And it's just a thing, a drive, you gotta have that drive to always want to be better, to do better. So I'm always pinpointing somebody to make them my competition, even though they may not have any idea. I just watch them and consume what they're doing, and then boom, next thing you know, I'm doing the same thing they're doing. So this is me. I posted this. Like I was watching a bunch of people post deals about deals at their closing table, right? Um, um, I don't normally go to closing table. I've never been to a closing table. All my deals are virtual deals, and I get my funds wired to my bank. That's just how I do deals. I've never been to a closing table. That's weird, right? It's crazy. But this was a funny meme. It's funny just looking at these comments here. This girl here, she used to be one of my best friends, high school. Like, I love her, man. She's Lloydie, man. I love her. And she's no longer with us. It's crazy. This guy here, I loaned his sister some money, and she didn't fully pay me back. She tried to take my money. Ups and downs, man. It's ups and downs. It's life. But Lloydie, man, I miss her. She passed, man. COVID, bro. COVID took her out. COVID, horrible. It took her father out. It took her out. Her mom was sick for a while. It was horrible. I miss her. It is what it is, man. Life. I used to post stuff like this, how I'm doing my virtual wholesale deal. Everyone was asking me how I'm doing my deals, and I used to post free information. I try to help people out. So I pick a target area. I find areas that has a lot of transactions. I find people with vested interest in my deals by posting an ad for deal locate. Oh yeah, I find deal locators. I never look for deals myself. I always find people who are willing to do the driving around and look for ugly houses, right? Like Evelyn. I post an ad. I found Evelyn. Evelyn goes and find these properties, and then she sends them to me. She birds dogs, so I find bird dogs. So I personally don't go look for these properties. That's just my way of doing things. Everybody does things differently, but I would go and find a bird dog. I would tell the bird dog what I'm looking for: ugly houses in decent neighborhoods, or even if it's a bad neighbor, well, not too bad, but in decent neighborhoods where a family would want to live. And I would tell them go to those type of areas, drive around, write down all the addresses of all the ugly houses, and send them over to me. And once they send them over to me, I would go ahead and I would look up their phone numbers, skip trace them. You could use fast people search or true people search. But first, you got to go to the county website and find out the name of the owner. And then once you find the name of the owner, or you could go to PropWire. PropWire right here. You could go to PropWire and type in the address, the name of the owner, and everything's gonna pop up. Once that pops up, then you can just take the address, dump it into right here, which is Fast People Search or True People Search, and then you match the name with the address. And then once you do that, you scroll down, you'll see a phone number. That's their phone number. Once you have their phone number, boom, you can call them up. Or if you want to spend money, that's the freeway. But if you want to spend money and you got like, a couple $100, you could just skip trace them right through PropWire, and PropWire could get you their phone number right then and there. Me, I like the freeway. I'm just I like teaching people the freeway. I don't like the freeway myself now because I have a little bit of money. But when I didn't have money, I loved the freeway because I didn't have the money. So, and then from there, I would contact the sellers, and look. I even told Evelyn to put out bandit signs. Evelyn used to put out bandit signs, all that stuff, man. Everything I'm telling you guys here is stuff that I've actually done. Like you literally could take this and duplicate it. Like my mind is like you could just tell me an idea and I'll take it to the next level. Like you didn't have to like show me how to wholesale properties. You could just tell me wholesaling is possible. Right then and there, I'm gonna figure it out. I'm gonna reverse engineer everything. I'm gonna call a title company. I'm gonna say, hey, do you guys work with wholesalers and investors and stuff like that? And then they would say yes. And then I would ask them more questions. What kind of paperwork do you want sent when we're wholesaling? Oh, you just basically need the contract and you need an assignment agreement. Oh, do you have a copy of an assignment agreement you can send me? Do you have a copy of a contract that you can send me that you prefer me to use? Some of them will say yes, and some of them will say, well, no, you can just use your own contract. You can just pull up or whatever. Like they'll tell you what to do. These title companies are gold mines. Like you don't need to know everything. You just need to know a good title company that's willing to work with you and let them know that you're a new person if you have to. Or don't tell them you're a new person. Tell them you're a seasoned person and you want to send them more deals. And they're going to tell you exactly what they need in order to close these deals. Ask them, what do you need for me to close these wholesale deals? Like, so you don't guys have any hiccups on your end. And they're going to tell you, we need this, we need this, we need this. We're going to need the A to B contract. We're going to need the assignment agreement. And then we're going to need your CD contract from the end buyer. And then once you have that, we're going to need the earnest money deposit. They're going to tell you everything you need. So that's how I figured all this out. I didn't take no course. I did take a course, but this guy didn't teach me anything. And then it's funny. I took a course. I asked the guy, after the course, I was like confused. He confused me even more. And then I called him up. I'm like, listen, I have a question. This part, what do you do after this? He tells me, oh, you need to sign up for my mentorship program. I'm like, listen, I only have one question. I don't need a mentorship. I just paid $500 for your class. Well, for me to answer questions, you have to be part of my um, um, mentorship program. So I'm like, how much is your mentorship program? And now I'm getting frustrated and aggravated because this guy taught me nothing, charged me 500, and then he tells me I need to, I need to join his mentorship. So I'm like, how much is your mentorship program? He tells me, it's gonna be $1,500. Man, I hung up on this guy. I was so mad. I hung up on this guy, and then I start figuring things out myself. Start hitting up title companies. Ask them how do they like things done. Start hitting up other wholesalers. Find out how they need things done. Start hitting up everybody. Start talking to everybody, and you can figure this out on your own. You don't even need me. That's how I did it. Let's go on to the next. This is my T-shirt. I got all these T-shirts printed. It's awesome. I love it. This was way back, man. 2019. What's this? Alicia Renee. Oh, this is me text messaging people. First of all, it's that line. Second, Lynn is deceased. Damn. This didn't get stacked properly and blast goes out. Oh yeah, I was using this text blasting platform and it didn't stack the list properly. It didn't I don't know, man. This thing just started sending out blast text messages at 10 at night. And this person was angry. So I post some of these bad things too. These are things that we gotta avoid. Um, this is it, man. Group economics. I used to always push for group economics. But one thing I found out is like not too many people are interested in group economics. Look, only 6 likes. So that's probably why I became a loan shark. I became a loan shark and just do deals by myself. But I've always had this group economics type of mentality. We could take down the biggest fish if we just team up. But for some reason, it's so hard to get people to team up. Why is it so hard? So I became a lone shark, bro. It is what it is. A lone wolf, lone shark, whatever you want to call it. But I still believe in group economics. All right, so Brent Daniels. Brent Daniels push, talk to people, TTP. Um, and I love it. Condition, motivation, timeline, price. This is how you qualify your buyers, your sellers. You find out the condition of the property. You find out why they're selling it. What's the cause? Like what kind of pain they're in. Why exactly do they need to sell it? And it has to be something like life changing, right? Or maybe it's not life changing. Maybe they just are, or they just want out. Who knows? But you want to find the real motivation. Without a real motivation, without a real pain, you really can't. They're not gonna be ready to go. You know. Um, Timeline. You want to find out how fast they want to do it. Do they want to do it now? Or are they ready like yesterday? Or are they ready like next week, next month? I've had people tell me, oh, my son's graduating next summer. So, call me like before next summer. I'm like, okay, perfect. And I put him on my Google Calendar and I'll say, hey, Google, remind me to call this guy and whatever. And then Google puts it on my calendar. And that's it. And I get a reminder when that time comes and I call him. And you need to know the price, Brent Daniels pushes that. I love Brent Daniels. I've never taken his thing, but I've watched his YouTube videos, and I watch a lot of YouTube videos about most of the wholesalers just to see what they're doing, or if anything new comes up that I may not know about. I'm always learning, and he's one of the guys that I like what he does. Okay, this was a lease option I did. Um, let me see. So the seller was asking 270, right? And he didn't want anything as a down payment. Um, his monthly payments was $2,100 a month. Now me, I found a buyer who's willing to give me 300,000. As you can see, between 270 and 300, I'm making 30 up front, right? Well, I'm making 30,000 at closing. So down payment, I asked the buyer, to give me $6,000 down payment. That $6,000, boom, comes to me right up front. This comes at closing. This comes up front. That's the down payment, right? This comes down the line when the buyer. This comes down the line when the buyer closes on the property. So it could be like a 3-year lease. So I'm not gonna get this 30,000 in like 36 months, you know. So I collect 6,000 up front. This seller didn't want anything. He just wanted out. He just didn't want to pay this $2,100 a month anymore, right? So now I charge this person $3,000 a month. So between 2,100 and 3,000, I'm making $900 a month, 24 months, because the mortgage is 2,100 with everything, PITI, everything, taxes, insurance, and water and everything. I'm not responsible for water. I make these guys do all of that. But PITI was 2,100. 3,000 is what going rent in the area was. So I charge them 3,000. So I'm collecting $900 monthly cash flow. And if you add all of this up, it becomes a $57,600 deal. That's a lease option. Now, I've never done a sub 2 deal before. I've always done like lease options because I didn't know what a sub 2 was. But in my mind, I always knew I could go buy something low and sell it a little bit higher. You know what I mean? So this is all like in my mind. I never took a lease option course. I never learned lease option from nobody. I mean, I watch a lot of YouTube videos, but I never took any course about it to learn about it. I just knew I could just go and get a lease agreement and lease it from this guy and tell this guy that I'm going to sublease it to somebody else. He didn't care. He just wants to get rid of this $2,100 monthly payment. And I told him in 3 years, I'll buy it from them because I know in 3 years the appraisal is going to be more. So I could sell it for $30,000 more, even though that's very low. I should have put a bigger number. I didn't know. I was young. So this was like back in 2019. I started in 2018, and I was doing lease options in 2019. So I didn't know. I was just doing 300. But little did I know, the properties go. That property went way higher than 300. So that buyer got a really nice deal. So it is what it is, you know. So I do virtual real estate deals. So my market is the United States of America. Any major city, 30 minutes within any major city, um, that's where I do deals. Like people ask, well, what's your market? I don't have a market. It's the United States, like anywhere. As long as it's between any major city, 30 minutes outside of major cities, I'll go as far as 40 minutes. But 30 minutes outside of any major city, that's my market. Because I could just quickly look and see what's selling and what's not selling, and I could see what I can offer. You know what I mean? Major cities have action going on. Outside of major cities, rural areas, ain't no action there. So I have to be inside of major cities. We buy houses as is for cash. Same phone number here. If you guys know anybody who's selling or want to sell something, hit me up. I'm always looking for properties to rent or sell because I started doing a lease option back in 2019. You see, so I started doing these type of advertisements, getting leads that way. Walk around like I'm deep down inside, like I'm. Wait, I walk around like I'm okay, but deep down inside, I want to. I want to buy two more houses. It's funny trying to get some laughter. As you can see, it's got a little bit more likes. It is what it is. So this lady just called me from my RVM. That's when we used to do the ringless voicemails. I used to do the with what's that company? What's that company? The ringless voicemail company. I don't remember. It was so long ago. It was 2020, 5 years ago. But I used to use. I remember it too, but it just can't come to me right now. Damn. What is that company? But either way, I used to do ringless voicemail. Um, but this was the voice message I think I used to put. I'm not sure how you got my number, but remove my number from your. Oh, this was the lady. This is what this lady was telling me. So I asked her, "Do you know anyone else who's looking to sell their property?" She said, "No, but remove me from your list." So I said, "You make sure you remove me from your list. Don't call me anymore." And she said, "Son of a bitch, son of a bitch." That's funny. this, this was a very conversation. So yeah, just having fun with people. Sometimes you just want to have fun. You don't want to be like, you know, it is what it is. Learn how to do marketing, talk to sellers, make offers, follow up. Yeah, follow up, bro. That's like I got a seller right now, man. I spoke to her maybe like in January. It is now June. I'm going to buy her house, but she's not ready to sell. We already agreed on a price. She knows she's okay with the price, but she has to find a place to live. And she's very specific on finding farmland to live on. So I'm gonna keep following up with her, and I did the marketing. I talked to her. I made the offer. Now it's just keeping up with her and just seeing how she's doing every day and how her search is going. And if I can find something for her too, I'll just throw it her way. But following up is what gets you guys the deals. Sometimes the deals don't come every day. I mean, this is 6 months, but this is just one deal. One deal. I have other deals that close like today or tomorrow, but some of them take a little bit longer. So don't be discouraged because I spoke to this lady in January. Now it is now June. She's still going to sell to me. She called me like 2 days ago, actually, on Friday. What's today? Monday? Today's Monday. She called me on Friday and she was telling me how she was going to sell the property to me and she just found a piece of property and she's going to put in an offer and she just wanted me to be ready to buy her property if if the seller accepts her offer. So I'm like, all right, bet. Just keep me in the loop. I'm ready. Whenever you're ready, I'm ready. And she was like, okay, great. And she loves me. And we talk about, regular stuff like her job and regular how she's doing, her family. We became friends. So that's what you want. More advertising. We buy houses. Okay, this was another deal. This deal I did with Cliff. This is a lease option deal I did with Cliff. Seller wanted 10,000, right? His payments was 1790 per month, and then he wanted to sell me the property for 267. So I'm like, wait a minute, the property's not worth 267. The property's worth like 250, 240. He was like, I know, but that's what I want. And I'm like, all right, so how much are your payments? He told me 1790. I'm like, what could I actually rent it for? He's like, well, I got a tenant in there right now. It's paying $2,200 per month. I'm like, really? So you're telling me I can cash if I up this thing $100 per month because the tenant's gonna have to renew the lease with me. If I up their payments $100 per month, I could charge 2,300 and I could cash flow 510. He's like, and I'm like, that's what I'm thinking. I'm like, okay, so this don't matter. As long as I'm making money every month, this don't matter because I'm hanging on to it for like 3 years. And in 3 years, I'm gonna end up selling it for 280 and making 13,000, and which is crazy to me because I got it for this price and I only sold it to the buyer for this price in 36 months. And um, I'm gonna get back to this, but let's get back to let's do this real quick. So the seller wanted 10,000, and I told the renter, "Hey, do you want to own this property?" The seller says, the renter says, yeah, absolutely. I love this house. I've been wanting to own it for the longest. Um, thank God. I mean, I've been praying about it. Thank God you asked me this. And I'm like, okay, look, I'll do a lease with option to buy, but I need $8,000. I need $10,000 down because I told her I need 10,000 because I had to give this guy 10,000. She says, "Oh, I don't think I have 10,000." I said, "How much do you have?" She says, "I have 8,000." I'm like, "Okay, give me the 8,000." And she sent me 5,000 and then another 3,000. I'll show you guys that check later on. But she sent me 5,000 as a down payment, and then she told me in like a week or so, in like 2 weeks or whatever, a week or two, she'll send me the other 3,000. I'm like, all right, bet. As long as you send me the 3,000, the lease option will go in effect, and you can buy it from me for 280. And your rent is gonna go up to $2,300 a month, right? So right then and there, this deal alone became a $29,000 deal, right? Check this out, $29,000 deal. I'm gonna make 29,000 over 36 months on one property, and all I had to come up with is $2,000 a month. Now I partnered up with Cliff on this one, and it cost me $1,000 to come up out of my pocket. In 2 months, I made my money back plus $20, and then from that point on, it's all profit that me and Cliff split. So this is going to be a split between me and Cliff. Um, that's how we did this deal. Now check this out, right? COVID happened. She had the option to buy this property from me for 280. This property, I'll probably show you pictures of it later on, because I think I posted it too. This property, when COVID, after the 3 years came, she was unable to buy it. Now this is crazy. I was selling it to her for 280, but guess how much that property was now worth? Property is now worth $430,000. Insane. Because of COVID, everything skyrocketed. Everybody was moving out of New York. New Jersey's market was booming, and it's still booming here. Everybody's moving from New York. New York is too expensive. So everybody's jumping to Jersey where properties are way cheaper and they're buying things up like crazy, which caused this property to jump from, mind you, it wasn't even worth 267 at the time. It was worth like 2, 430. I took the risk of buying a property that's worth 230 for 260 something. It was worth like 230, 240. I bought it for I agreed to the 267, right? Plus 10,000. So really 277 I paid for the thing, but I got a credit for 10,000, obviously. But that 10,000, only 1,000 came from me. 8,000 came from the buyer, and this is non-refundable money right here, non-refundable. So which means if you don't exercise your option to buy it, the 280, but she couldn't qualify. Her husband is a trucker, and she just could not qualify. Her husband could not qualify because they were self-employed, and she didn't work. She stopped working. So she went to school, and her husband was self-employed, and he didn't do his books properly. And no banks would approve him um, of buying a property on a 30-year fixed mortgage. They just wouldn't give it to him. So for me at that point, as soon as I heard they couldn't buy it, I'm like, thank you, God. God is looking out for me because now I have a property that's worth 430,000, and I can close on it. Only problem was she gave us like 2 weeks to close on it. She told me the last 2 weeks of my contract that she couldn't buy it, which was partly my fault because when you do a lease option, you're not supposed to do like I got a 36 months from this guy, and then I gave her 36 months. You're not supposed to do that. When you do a lease option, if you get 36 months from this guy, do like 12 months or something. Do way smaller, do 24 months. If you got always give yourself time so you can close. You know, I didn't give myself time to close, which it wasn't really my fault. It was Cliff who just basically put her contract for 36 months. Cliff didn't ask me. He didn't. It was just something we both missed. You know what I mean? It's after the fact. I'm like, wait a minute. You made hers 36 months? You were supposed to make hers 24 months so we can have 12 months. Oh my God. And that's how we kind of was in a time crunch because I told her she needs to give me 2 week notice in the contract. That she wasn't gonna buy. No, nine. I think she was supposed to give us 90-day notice if she wasn't gonna buy it, but she said she was gonna buy it. It was like last minute, 30 days from closing, from the 36 months. She told us she couldn't buy it. I'm like, oh my God. So now we have to like come up with the money in like 30 days. Luckily, we found private money to put up the money because this property at the time, with all these payments, now it was only 255 owed after 36 months. And so we had a bunch of equity. The property was worth 430, and we found private money to put up the capital because if we didn't close, I mean, if anything went wrong, then they would have had the property for 255,000 and it's worth 430. So for them, it was like no brainer to put up that money, and we were giving them 13% on their money. So it made sense to them, and they did it. We did it, and we ended up selling the property for 430,000. So it all worked out. So as you can see, this is the tenant. She sent the first 5,000. This was the deposit. Um, Boxable. I love Boxable. I don't know why I love these little things, man. It's like I see this as being the future. So I kind of started doing this affiliate thing with them, but nobody bought one. But I love these little things. I might buy one day and just put like on a campground. I'm buy some land and just put one on there. It'd be like a little getaway if I want to get away with my sons and just get away for like a weekend. And we have somewhere to just bounce and just maybe go fishing or I don't know. I love these things. Boxable. This is my referral link if you guys want to Boxable. These things are nice. I like them a lot.
Welcome home to the Box.
I love it. Okay, this was a property I had under contract in Brick, New Jersey. 3 bedroom, 2 bath. Um, it was worth 350. I was asking 230 for it. I think I moved this one. I'm not even sure. This was back in 2020. So seller signed a purchase agreement. I'm thinking they got a higher offer from someone else after. Now they are not responding to my call. Oh yeah, this was this lady, man. This lady, bro. So I bought this house from her. She signed the document. She signed the purchase agreement, and then um, I guess she got an offer from someone else that was a little bit higher. She stops responding to my phone calls, and she already signed my purchase agreement. So I called my lawyer, and I told my lawyer the situation. My lawyer was like, "Hey, we can definitely sue her for damages." And then I'm like, "Let's go, let's move forward." And then he tells me, I need a $10,000 retainer. I'm like, "Are you fucking kidding me? Are you kidding me, bro? You want me to give you $10,000 so, and then how long is this gonna take?" Well, I don't know. It might take years. Man, I just let the lady have the fucking profit that she was gonna make from the other person. I'm like, first of all, you're my lawyer. You ain't supposed to charge me, 10,000. And something about this deal, I just felt like, you know what? Maybe God wants me to just let this person have their house. And I was like, you know what? I don't want any parts of it. I'll just go find more deals. Simple. Like in life, you don't have to fight battles that you don't need to fight. Yes, we would have won this battle, but did I need to go and spend $10,000 to win a battle? Come on now. I can go find tons of other deals in no time. Come on. This is a house I bought for $10, you guys. $10. Crazy. But $10. This property there in Ohio. $10 I paid for this property. The guy was like, "Yeah, I don't want this property. If you want it, you can have it." I was like, "Huh?" He said, "Yeah, if you want it, you can have it. I'm never going there. I'm a pilot. I'm never going back. I bought it because I was just going to rehab it and put it up for sale. But it's been sitting there for ages, and I got to pay the taxes on it, and I don't want it. And I got to pay to get the lawn mowed." Like, he was just like, "I don't want it." I'm like, "All right, I'll take it." So I sent him a contract for $10, and he signed it. And so we closed on it. So, yeah, it was amazing. This is the Toms River property, the lease option property that I was just discussing. That went to 430. This was the keys. The homeowners sent me the keys. PropStream. I used to use PropStream to pull all my data. If you guys want to use PropStream, you can go to PropStream and click on this link, and you'll get a discount. You'll get a free trial on PropStream if you want to test it out. But me, I use PropWire most of the time now. PropWire is free. Obviously, this gives you a couple extra things, I guess. But for me, PropWire, the free product, works just fine. July 4th, standard purchase agreement. Oh, this was the West Virginia property. This was the West Virginia property that we bought. I love posting deals that I was doing. So this was another deal with the young lady that I sent the money to. This was another deal. Hey, bro, I signed up for PropStream using your link, and I cannot believe how powerful this is. See, this was somebody who signed up for PropStream. Look at that. Boom. Awesome. We buy houses, just more marketing. Time to pull lists, skip trace. This is what I used to do, man. I would just pull lists, skip trace them, and blast text them. That's all I did. Or I would do the ringless voicemail too. But ringless voicemail kind of got outlawed, and it was just blast texting around 2020. So 2019, it was ringless voicemail. That was the thing. And then too many people were doing it, so they started having regulations, and so we started doing blast text. And now blast text have a lot of regulations, and so now we're back to cold calling all over again. But we still blast text, but we just kind of do it one at a time. That way you don't get caught up in these regulations. Look at this. This thing popped up on my screen. Even though these sneakers are ugly, it's amazing. I'm a marketing guy, and I'm like, damn, this is amazing marketing. How did they even figure out my name? And they did this. This was like on my timeline, and it's telling me to order this. I'm like, wow. This is phenomenal. Like marketing is 100% like next gen type of marketing for them to like know my name and put it on something and send it to me. Like, wow. Now, if they were smart, they would ship me a sample, ship me the right foot, as I learn what my feet size is, and ship me the right foot, and I would have had to order the left foot. But if I see this, I'm not gonna just order it. I like it, great, but the sneaker's ugly. If it was a better looking sneaker, I would have probably ordered it. So this guy right here, oh my God, this guy want top dollar for this property, and I'm like, bro, top dollar for this? Come on. Real estate wholesaling. Basically, find hot zip codes, locate homeowner in distress in those hot zip codes, offer to purchase property for cash, put the property under contract below market value, assign the contract to a flipper for 10K or more. Repeat. Very simple process right here. This is all I used to do. I still do it. This is my boy Steve Trang. He's a master salesperson and he teaches sales. And he wrote this book. He sent me a copy. I love you, Steve. This was another property. Oh, yeah, this guy says it just needs paint and carpet. I'm like, send me pictures. He sends me this. I'm like, bro, tiles missing, wood panels, outdated kitchen. Look, all cabinets need to go. Bathroom need to be completely redone. Talking about just paint and carpet. I'm like, bro, more marketing. Look, $1,000 reward. I upped it to 2K. If you guys send me a deal, I'll pay $2,000 referral fee. This is another DocuSign. Boom, I'm getting these DocuSigns, bro. I love getting DocuSigns when they're like, your DocuSign has been completed. This is what I love to see. $1,000 cash. Like I said, I paid $2,000 now. Instead of playing video games, imagine teaching them how to cold call motivated sellers. Look, they're all playing video games. Imagine you teach them how to cold call motivated sellers. Damn. This is my dream. Like, I'll take all my nephews and nieces and get them laptops and have it set up just like this. Instead of them playing video games, teach them how to make money. That's a real video game. Look at this. My locks got super long. Now, you see they were right here? They're about right here now. That's crazy, right? This was in 2020, 5 years later. In 5 years, they're about like right below my buttocks. Actually, they're probably like right here right now. Like right around here. Crazy. My hair got super long. Yep, just advertising. We buy houses. Just my little commercial. Well, not a commercial. Ooh, another DocuSign. I love these. I love those. I love when these come through. Completed DocuSigns. This is the property, you guys. This is the property that I had the tenant in that went from I got it for the 267 and then it went up to 430 and they had the option to buy it at 280 and they couldn't close on it. And we ended up selling it for 430. We ended up selling it. I got it for 267. Actually, the tenants paid it down to about 255 for the 3 years, but we ended up selling for 430. Look how beautiful this house. I was so surprised they left it in this condition. This is the condition we got it at. I ended up painting the whole place all over again, but we got rid of this color. We painted everything just off-white, and the floors obviously stayed the same. We didn't change anything. We just basically changed all the carpeting, and we painted the whole house and put it up for sale. 10 grand on paint and carpet. And the stairs had like a squeaky sound. We got a stair person to come in, and the stairs no longer squeak. This was another deal. This deal was from another guy from my Facebook. I posted We Buy Houses. All these signs you see there, these yellow things I keep posting, I buy houses. He ended up calling me like, "Hey, you still buy houses?" I'm like, "Yeah. What do you got?" He told me he got this property. And boom, I ended up doing a deal with him, and I wholesaled this one to someone else. I made 35K on this one. 35K. I got it from him for 70, and then I ended up wholesaling it to someone else for 105. And it's crazy because he fixed it up and sold it for like 230, 240, I think he sold it for. I'm not sure. I think it was 240 or 250 he sold it for. He made a killing. I made 35K, and that other kid, he bought it for like 35,000. So he made like, he ended up walking away with 70K total. So he did pretty well too. Everybody did good. This was the property. This is the paint color we painted it. This was a really nice color. I like that color. And then this guy, they had like left some paint marks on the floor. So I had to get a cleaning crew to come in and clean the floors. So they ended up taking off all the paint chips that were left behind. Pace Morby. Love this guy. Love Pace Morby. I've been doing deals creatively for a while now. But Pace came out with the creative deals term. Now he's the creative guy. But in my mind, I'm the creative guy because I've been doing these things creatively before Pace even came out. But Pace came out and boom, he took on the market by storm. And I love Pace. Pace is doing it right. Only thing I don't like is this $10,000 he's charging to join his community. I don't like that. 10,000 Pace? Come on, bro. Make it like 2,500 or 2,000. Like, don't charge people $10,000. Well, he charges 9,800. Still, that's too much. You're crushing people, and you're crushing people's spirits. People don't want to join for 98. Now, if it was like 2,500 or 2,000 to join the community, and that would be amazing. But I don't know, man. I still might join. I love Pace. So for Pace, I may spend the 9,800. But every day I think about it, like, man, I could give my son $9,800. My son could use that money more than Pace. You know, you know what I mean? My son could use that money. I got kids. Come on now. But yeah. So this is I flew out to North Carolina. No, South Carolina to go see this property. And this was my view on my seat on the airplane. Still marketing. This is my boy Pace. Well, like Pace don't know me, but I know Pace. Like I went to his event. Pace is the coolest dude ever, man. Like very knowledgeable. He mastered his art. What can I say? He mastered his craft. He's a good guy. He's a very good guy. Like I love to be around people who have the best hearts. That's really my purpose in life is to be around people who have good souls, good heart. Like you just want to be around people who vibrate on a loving frequency, basically. If you find people who vibrate on that love frequency, who just love everyone and loves to help and love, that's what you want in life. It's very hard though, but it's very easy because there's a lot of people out to take your money. Like that first guy I found who just took my $500 and then trying to tell me $1,500 to ask him a question. That's crazy. But you find people like Pace who give you over what you ask for. He gives you 100 times more, 1,000,000 times more than what you ask for. So those are the type of people. Even though me and Pace haven't done a deal together yet, and I haven't joined his community yet, but I vibrate at the same love level as he does. So eventually we're gonna have to bond, because it's just how it goes. You know, you draw what you are like, and eventually we're gonna be a partners at some point. I already know it because he vibrates on the same level that I do. I love everybody. I want to help everybody. He loves everybody. He's gonna want to help everybody. So at some point we're gonna somehow commingle and click. It's just like a magnet. You know, if you take two magnets, now there are some magnets they're opposite. You could try to push them close as hard as you can. You can even push them to the point where they touch, and if you let it go, boom, they split up. But then you take the magnets that attract, you can you can just bring them close, boom, immediately they snap together. You know what I mean? So you don't even have to be like, you don't even have to be like, you know, right next to it. Sometimes you could just get close enough and boom, those two magnets snap together. So that's kind of how I am when it comes to um, people who have a great heart, because I have a great heart and I love to help people, and I love to like look out for people. So eventually, me and him are gonna, as you can see, we're already clicking right there, like magnets, like two magnets. So eventually, it's gonna happen. I'm either gonna join his community or I'm gonna. I look up to him, man. He's a very smart dude. So we'll make it happen. This was that deal, in Tom's River. Oh, look, that's right. We sold it for 420, not 430, but it was worth 430. And I'm like, we should have sold it for 430. That's why that 430 got stuck in my head. See, 44 Violet Court. But look, we sold it for 420, but it was worth 430, man. I knew we could have got 430 for it, but for some reason we took 420. I don't know why I have 430 in my head, but 420 is what we sold it for. Um, yep, that's what we got it for. We sold it for 420. That's that property. That lease option property. Look at my hair, you guys. Long. It's getting super long. Sell your house, all cash offer in 7 days. Damn. I was actually pushing this 7 days. The funny thing is, I could give you a cash offer right now, like in 2 minutes. So it's not lying. It doesn't say that I will close in 7 days. It says all cash offer in 7 days. But I'll give you a cash offer right now for like in 2 seconds, because I know how to pull up PropWire and do my comps. And I'll give you a cash offer in like less than 2 minutes, less than 2 hours. So I'll give you a cash offer in 2 minutes. But yeah, sell your house, all cash offer in 7 days. This is true. I didn't say I would close in 7 days. It says all cash offer in 7 days. In actuality, I over deliver because I'll give you a cash offer in like an hour or less. You know what I mean? So this is not a lie. Cash offer in 7 days, not close in 7 days. But I could close in 7 days too, to be honest. You see? This is my area, man. Hate the snow. I got to get out of here, you guys. So help me do more deals so I can move south. I hate the snow. It's the only thing I hate about living up north is the snow, and we get a lot of it. Well, last few years we haven't gotten a lot of snow. So it might have snowed like a few days, but it didn't stick, and it was gone the next day. So I love those type of years. All right, this is funny. Seller asking me how I got his phone number 30 minutes before the DocuSign is completed. So that's how the sellers are always yelling at me. But for some reason, I turn them around. They're like my best friend. And boom, they start selling the house to me. Derek Polite and Crystal Polite. I was happy. I'm so happy to see these guys on TV. Like these guys, I met them at Max Maxwell's back in 2018. I met them. That's crazy. In 2018, I met them. And look, 2024, they're on TV. They got their own TV shows, flipping houses, 50-50 flip. I'm proud of them. I love them. Crystal is the bomb. Diedrich is awesome. He's funny. He's like, these guys are power couple. What can I say? I love them. Look, Crystal, Dedrick, I love them. They're awesome. I even bought their Driving for Dollars course when I met them in Atlanta in Max Maxwell's event. I even bought that just to buy. Sometimes I buy stuff just because I know people are good-hearted people, and if they're starting out, I'll just spend money towards them. Even like they probably didn't even know I already did. I've done lease options. I've done wholesale deals. They probably didn't, but I I spend money because I support what they're doing, and my money is gonna get them to one step closer. So sometimes I may not even need the product, but I'll buy it because it gets them one step closer. They're good-hearted people. You always want to help people with a good heart, because in the end, those people, that little bit that you help them is gonna help them help massive amounts of people. Now they're on a national level, and they can help more people. Why? Because of all the little supporters that they had before. And I was one of the little supporters, and I still am. So I love these guys. I'm happy to see them succeed. More marketing.
50 amp plug,
These things I love,
AC
guys.
and heat,
This guy
mini
right
split,
here.
very well insulated,
I can.
open right up into the office space.
But I love this. He builds these things and he sells them super cheap. And
8 by 20. This one's already
I
sold.
want to buy plots of land and put like 3 or 4 of these on the land.
50 amp plug, AC and heat, mini split.
Look at this. These are my buddies. These are all my buddies. I love these guys. These are all my friends. You know, some of my favorite friends are right there. Kevin Cho. I even support Kevin Cho. You know, Kevin Cho is a young guy. He came in under pace. But I'll be honest, man. I paid $500 for this. I didn't really learn much. Like, I did make a few contacts. That's probably worth $500. But the material that I learned, I don't think he executed properly, and I didn't really learn much from it, to be honest. But Kevin Cho's a cool dude, and hopefully his workshop becomes better and better and better. I think this was probably one of his first, so I'm glad that. I mean, he's a successful kid. It's just some people. Okay, check this out, right? Like, I used to have this friend of mine. He was very good at what he did. He was very good at sales. He was a top salesman. But one thing about him, he could not teach other people how to sell. He was just a natural born salesman. Everybody loved him. Everybody likes him. He was good at what he did, but he couldn't teach it. He couldn't teach other people how to be good like him. And then I had my other friend where he was above average salesman, but he could teach other people how to be above average salesmen. So there's people out there who could do and teach, and then there's other people out there who could just do. It's very rare that you could find somebody who could do and teach. And I believe I'm one of these people who can do and teach. You know what I mean? So it's hard to find somebody who can do and teach. Some people are just good at teaching and they can't do. Like professors. They're out there teaching people about business, but they never really owned a business before. They're just reading books and they know how it's done, but they don't know personally how it is to do. They've never done it. And then you find some professors or some people who just, they have businesses and they choose to give back, and they, you know what I mean? Those are the people you want to find. But I don't think Kevin did very good on this one. But at the end of the day, I did meet a couple people in the group that I spoke with, and that's where the value came in. So it's always good to spend the money, because if I don't learn something from this person, then I'm going to find other people in the group that I can make this money back with or on. Make sense? So that's how it works. More marketing. This is pretty cool. I don't know why this guy put a house on his head, but I love the marketing and I use it as my marketing. This is more marketing. And that's it, you guys. So you guys get the gist. I started a while back. This is just a recap of how long I've been in the game and my experience. If you guys have any questions, feel free to reach out. I'm always happy to help. Again, if I help you out, just know that I'm not going to charge you. Sometimes I do charge up front, but I kind of like, I'm a nice guy and I don't like to charge people things. And so when I do charge, it's because I know you're doing well or you can afford it. But if I see that you can't afford it, sometimes I give people a scholarship and we just split deals together and I make my money in the back end instead of the front end. But always know that when you pay upfront, you always get a better version of me, because nobody likes to work for free, to be honest. You know what I mean? I will help you and I will get the deal to the closing table if you don't pay, but don't expect all of my time. You're not going to be calling me constantly and getting all of this. I'm going to tell you what to do. Just go do it. Don't contact me a million times a day. Now, if you pay me up front, you have that privilege of calling me more than usual. And even then, I'm not going to allow you to call me a million times a day, but I'll give you that privilege. But a person who doesn't pay up front, I'm going to give you the rules. I'm not going to, shut you down and not help, but I will help, but you're not going to get like exclusive access to me because you didn't pay for this exclusivity. So you just didn't do that. So you're not going to get that. But I will help you and you will close a deal. I'll tell you that much. You know what I mean? But you're not going to have access to me like somebody who just paid for my access to be able to ask me questions at any point, any given time of the night. Now, a person who doesn't pay, they'll have access to me too, but only when they bring something to the table like I tell them to. You know what I mean? So it's privilege, It is what it is. But that's it for tonight. That's it for today. I just wanted to put this one out there. It's a long video, but if you guys get some value out of this one, hit the like button, comment, ask me questions. I'm glad to answer. I'll catch you guys on the next one.